And then the Avengers Doomsday trailer dropped as well. And
bro,
okay,
I watched that. Did you watch that?
I did watch it. I feel like, so okay, obviously very curious to see what they're gonna do with Doctor Doom and how that's gonna go down and whatever, right? Are you gonna live up to the expectations of what people want for this character, seeing as everything else has been eating shit? There's a really desperate feeling from this trailer that comes across like, if we don't win you back now, this MCU thing, I don't. This might be it, man.
So
they've ground
me and Paige
all
watched the trailer
fucks
this morning
into dirt.
What me and Paige watched the trailer this morning. The baby didn't even look at it, which is crazy. And he didn't even care to look at the stuff that was happening. And it really like, it really showed off exactly the formula that Marvel's using in like a very negative way. So like the MCU is solo movie that's supposed to be pretty good or decent, that gets you excited to have this solo character interact, or characters interact with the larger world, right?
Yep.
And I'm watching this fucking thing, and it's like Thor is narrating to Namor and Shuri. Hold on. Namor and Shuri from the movie I didn't watch. The Thunderbolts from the movie I didn't watch. The Fantastic Four from their movie that I didn't watch. Shang-Chi from the one movie in that phase I skipped and didn't watch. Loki from the end of season 2, which I didn't watch. And like, as I am coming, Gambit from the movie I did watch. I'm like, oh, cool, good for Channing Tatum. He got to play his Gambit role. And it starts off with like, the very first frame is Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
X-Men out
and
front.
Those characters are from movies I didn't watch because they don't exist. Like you're
seeing the ones from it's the memories from the ones you did watch that they're trying to evoke.
But like that Cyclops and that are from movies that don't exist,
right?
Because they didn't have time to make
X-Men, the MCU X-Men,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you're literally just showing me a bunch of action figures that I don't give a fuck about because all of their solo movies didn't interest me enough to watch them in the fucking first place. So the only thing I take away from that whole trailer is, wow, did Doctor Doom just pull an Eisen and stop Ichigo with one finger?
Yeah, and then again the guess of like the casting of like, are you just doing evil Tony? You know, because is like that shits on Victor Von Doom, which is something that should be done well. It really suck if you fucked up Doom again after fucking up Doom before.
I think there's one thing about this that no matter what they do in this story, that they could fuck up Doom massively. And that's if they have to have a scene in which Reed Richards has to find out about who Doctor Doom is, then that movie is shit. If like, because they're doing all this multiversal nonsense to make it work. If you have to have Reed Richards and fucking Ben and Sue and Johnny be like, Doctor Doom, who's that? Go to hell, bro. Like, are you like, because I remember one of the things about the MCU that always bothered me a lot, and I'm sure it bothered a lot of people, is like there were some characters that didn't get to do the thing that they get to do, which is Tony Stark is a drunk.
Yeah.
It like Tony Stark should have had an entire film where the villain is alcoholism, because that's the most interesting thing about his character. The most interesting thing about Doctor Doom is how much he fucking hates Reed Richards.
So, I guess spoilers for shit in Fantastic Four, just if you want to tune out. The end of Fantastic Four is there's a stinger for Doom being from that world, right? So, but that's all we know, is that he's there, and we don't know anything else about him or his introduction yet, or interaction with them, or so on.
People, by the way, everyone's saying that the devil in a bottle was Iron Man 2. No, he gets drunk in one scene.
It's not the complete.
No.
It's the speed run. It's the speed run version of the arc.
When I'm talking about Iron Man's villain should be alcohol, I mean literally a movie with no super villain at all, just alcohol.
Yeah, and look,
that's it.
It's in the same way that we speed run Planet Hulk in the middle of Thor Ragnarok, right? Like you just kind of get the abbreviated version, with a couple of highlights of the costume and a couple moments.
But yeah, no, this is a deck of cards. You have to have each card. Sorry, a house of cards. Every card has to be perfectly placed to get to the top, where I go, oh my god, all these characters are going to meet, and it's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck that Ben Grimm and M'Baku are going to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a single solitary fucking shit.
And again, we did this, right? It's not like, even if you did or would have cared, we did this, and the trailer itself has Thor saying, "Yeah, so there have been higher stakes versions of this that mattered more, with people that I cared about more, with things that were, like this is not."
I don't know who you.
Like, literally, just Thor is there going, yeah, guys, Endgame was a pretty big deal.
I think I'm going to go on a different path here.
Sure.
I think Gen Z is a good generation. Okay? They may not be able to read as good or aren't as smart, and their social shit is weird. But you know what they are good at? Mean fucking comments on YouTube videos. Because when I looked at that trailer, the top fucking comment at the time summed it up so perfectly. It was the comment, 90% of this movie is going to be characters meeting each other.
Yeah.
Because none of these characters know who each other is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you got a lot of that out of the way in the previous Avengers movies, and then eventually in Infinity War. Honestly, so while MCU stuff has, like, it was a box office dominator era for movies, and like everything could not be part of that, there was a very clear thing here that the only chance that this arc or follow-up to MCU stuff had of being good is if they showed restraint, which is impossible when you're doing the numbers they do, when you dominate the whole thing, and it all just becomes, we need to replace every existing movie franchise or series or actor with a new version that can just do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing again and again and again and again and again until people don't give a fuck, right? Showing restraint actually could have made people care by selectively choosing projects and keeping it sparing and keeping the quality high to eventually start building this kind of thing up again. But instead you get the exact opposite, where you go, not only are there a ton of movies you didn't go see, there's a bunch of shows you didn't watch as well.
It also was this kind of thing where each of them like lived and died on the successes and the failures of the last one. So I really liked that first season of Loki. Like, comic book aside, like I thought that was like a genuinely interesting show. But then I watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that became, okay, well, that was a massive waste of time. So if there's a fucking Marvel show, I'm going to wait till it's finished, and then everyone has to tell me that it's incredible for me to even bother turning it on. And then that never happened.
But I'm not even having that experience, because for me, I'm like, there's things that I liked about the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange movie. There's stuff I liked about WandaVision. There's a couple things I liked about Shang-Chi. But overall, there's too many things.
Yeah,
there's like, even if you do like actively,
I remember when I watched
one
Marvel movie a year, because one Marvel movie came out every year. And then now we went to 1.5 Marvel movies a year plus a TV show or two, and I'm like, I'm not doing
even
that.
if it's fine, right? I've heard from many people about how good Thunderbolts is, and I've heard from many people about like Moon Knight being fun, you know. And
I saw Moon Knight; it was fun.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac is fucking great. Like that dude.
That
rules.
Oscar Isaac carries it.
Yeah, of course,
he carries it on his back.
That dude is Oscar Isaac is like.
Carries the whole fucking show on his back. It's crazy.
He's such a better actor than like the time he lives in.
Okay, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying to you. I know what you're saying to me. I know. I get it.
He's in the wrong era, and that sucks for him because he's so fucking talented. It's crazy. Anyway,
wasting him on fucking Star Wars and Marvel
shit. It sucks, dude. He's so much better than that. Yeah. Anyway, that is kind of the feeling of like, it's not even just top to bottom, like, fuck all this slop, it's all terrible. There's a bunch of stuff in there, but there's just too much. It's too much to care. You know what
showing restraint
is impossible for a fucking monster of this size. But it's
my favorite part of all of this is that we've gone from, I mean, and people will say like, nobody cared about Iron Man prior to the Iron Man movie. And that's objectively true. He wasn't super popular, but people knew who the fuck Iron Man was, right? We've moved from like your classic A team of Avenger people to like broader comic book people that maybe people hadn't heard of, right? Like, I don't know if any normal person had ever heard of fucking Namor, right?
At large, it gets, it gets lost in the week.
And on top of that, there's an interview with Kevin Feige today where he's like, not being able to get that Blade movie made me feel like a massive loser. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should, you fucking loser. Because if Blade was in that fucking Doomsday trailer, I would have been like, well, I want to see Blade fucking fight Dr. Doom. I don't give a fucking shit. I'll watch Blade do anything.
I mean, you got a hit of him in fucking Deadpool, right?
Yeah, right. And it's like if you add super charismatic A-list like incredible thing character actors that people were crazy about, they'd turn up to see even one of them. But it's like, what do you do? What's the solution? Oh, no one in phase 2 or phase 3 hit that way. Bring Chris Evans back and fucking Downey Jr. back. And
okay, don't that with Cap walking back on screen. Don't forget too as well that this is a violent swerve from the Kangverse that was planned, right?
Yeah.
Everything Jonathan Majors had to go, and this was also a like break every glass situation.
You know what? So we finished that when we finished the trailer. Paige was looking at Captain America and she's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's Chris Evans." And she's like, "What? He's so small." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess he didn't want to do the process of getting big again. So he's just going to have the fucking hammer so he doesn't have to get super huge and ripped because he hated that part."
He's not.
And it's man. Like it's not like shame on Chris Evans. He doesn't want to get huge. It reeks of like they begged him to get in so hard. He didn't even have time to get huge.
I tapped out of this franchise. I said I'm not coming back. What the fuck, right? Yeah. I'm seeing some folks saying they should have just recast Kang, and I'm wondering, like, was he at all that interesting to carry what you're describing?
Because has nothing to do with Majors and all that lawsuit stuff. It has to do with as soon as the Thanos level threat got beaten by a bunch of tiny ants, the audiences were like, "I'm out."
Well, what the fuck? Like, what are you building toward? Like, that's it. I'm saying, regardless of all the bullshit. Like, what I don't know what there would have been to carry this level of interest with that character, right? All the glass being broken, pulling out Dr. Doom and such, it makes more sense. And even then, you're still getting this like really like bland ass response. Side note, another part of the story here was the Pattinson Batman movie was like stalled for 6 years, I believe.
Yeah, what happened with that?
development hell. What was the detail? I just saw that it was like it got delayed a billion times, and like whatever was going on with it to delay to 2028 was just announced this week. And hot take, probably, you know, whatever, like,
ask away.
It's not a question. I'm like,
say away. Swing away, Woolie.
Maybe Batman can chill for a couple years before we get another movie. Maybe that's okay.
Woolie.
Maybe it's okay to live in a world where where we wait a little bit and then you get another Batman movie.
Woolie,
maybe it doesn't have to be.
We need surefire bets over and over and over and over.
Maybe it doesn't need to be 3 a decade. Maybe it can be chill. Like,
yeah, Chris Wolfhard made a really interesting point talking about like the economics of the games industry, and the reason why everything has gotten so bad so hard is basically everyone's just trying to reach that magic pandemic number of spending, where before the economy was shit, but you had to be forced to stay inside your house. Mm-hmm. And like all entertainment is still chasing that, and it'll never be that high again. Like never. Like it cannot ever. So every single fucking minute is just cut off more of your own body to feed to the flame. And so yeah, Batman can't have a break. In fact, we need twice as much Batman. So that we can make twice as much money.
Because for everyone who's currently saying, but it's been 6 years, dude, where's my Batman? I'm like wondering, do you want a Batman product every so often, regardless of the quality? Or would you rather there be every once in a while you might get something, but what you get might be most likely solid?
Like he's in Deco. Because you can go Deco mode with Batman.
Because here's another thought. Right? Supergirl just came out and nobody's fucking raving about that. And that sucks because now Superman, which was like a great standalone awesome thing, is actually the beginning of another relaunch of a universe that is already fumbling after its first step. Because that tripped up on the second film.
So,
and it sucks because Superman was so fucking good.
I think I talked about this with Hina and Ecto and Mint the other day, where you talk to hardcore MMO players, or you'll see their comments because you don't talk to them. They don't talk to anybody. And they'll be like, this game has no content, after they've like leveled every single character to cap and done every raid and gotten every single achievement. And the only response to that is, how about you fucking go outside, you fucking psycho? Right? Like, what do you actually want? Do you want a game to provide you with 12 hours of entertainment every single day for the rest of your fucking life? What is wrong with you? And I feel that way in a general sense about, I think, Cape fans.
Yeah,
like comic book people. How many new Batman anythings do you need? It's been like 100 years. You can wait like a little bit for another Batman movie.
I forgot to even mention that the director and staff were also working along with the Penguin show, which was also pretty good from what what I've been hearing, and and the Penguin show, which is also in that universe, happened more recently as well. So like, there's other stuff that's still coming out from it, right?
So like, my brain immediately goes to super Batman fan, right? To which I will just enact the entire conversation myself. Hey, there's been like 100 years of Batman stuff. There's so much Batman stuff, actually, no one could ever read, watch, or listen to all of it in their lifetime. To which the response is, I have multiple times. To which I say, fuck off. Stop. Stop.
Yeah, it's and I think this feeling kind of only applies to like your Batman and Spider-Man level like institutions. I think there's a top point here where because there's definitely characters where something comes out and it's really good, and okay, let me again, and I said hot take at the top, right? But like, Dredd was a phenomenal movie. I really liked it. It sucks that, you know, that's all there was, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, if you know we can get something else that's good, and that however long that might take, if there's something that can happen there, it would be nice to see it, right? It would be nice to see more of that, for sure. If there is a time frame that I feel like you have to hit this release number in, and like this, no matter what the quality is, you just got to shit it out, it becomes Star Wars. It just becomes like you want to see the character no matter what. And it's just what I'm just trying to say, that like, effectively, if the shit is gonna suck, then you're better off without it. I'd much prefer to it not existing. I don't want to know that, like,
I think it's really like almost naively optimistic to live in a world where somebody's halfway through a project and goes, this one sucks, cancel it.
Well, but there's certain franchises, right? Like I'd say like Predator is amongst one of Alien. A lot of those movies, there are parts of these IPs that are like, no, we're gonna be hitting something every 3 to 4 years for sure, right? You got to use the IP, use it or lose it, whatever the case is. Otherwise, you're wasting money. You know, you might as well sell it to someone otherwise. And sometimes you're gonna get something good with it. Sometimes you might not. You're just gonna roll the dice. Who the fuck knows, right? If we're in the goop world, then Alien is going down that road. But hey, Prey was cool. All right. What about the other stuff around it? I don't know. But it sucks that you have to think about these franchises in this like continuity sense, as opposed to, yo, that was one good movie, that was a good movie, that's cool, I liked that was good that happened, and it can't just live on its own in this way, you know? So this problem that the MCU is having is like not unrelated to the idea of like, hey, it's been X amount of time, where's my next Batman? You know? Yeah,
so for example,
these are connected problems.
All creative and artistic mediums are having to deal with the digital world that we live in the continuity of art. So like, preservation for everything sucks, but it's still better than when there was no such fucking concept of preservation as, well, that statue exists over in that location. You want to go look at it, you got to go fucking look at it, right? How many dozens of Batman movies do we get to 100 years from now before people start going like, that's enough Batman? I think the answer is like, you could do it forever, because people just want the same thing forever and ever and ever and ever.
No, and it's hard to put it's hard to create a rule for, like, you know, what the right number is and what the right frequency is. What I will say is that, like, if someone does a pretty solid job on something, and then they have an interest in saying something else or doing something else, like, if you're planning a franchise out where, like, already you have like a trilogy or so, and you already have different directors lined up, because you're like, we can't waste time, we have to hand this off to different people, we just have to get it going.
Good job, you're gonna make garbage probably.
No matter what, you're fucked immediately out of the gate. Right. It doesn't matter, because the people involved in the vision, none of that ever mattered to you. All that mattered was milking the cow, you know? If you're willing to, like,
this bat cow's getting pretty tired, man.
We
talked about 3 fucking Batman things today.
Yeah,
the Matt Reeves Batman movie, Dicko and Absolute,
and the thing,
one of those is really cool.
And even when you do an amazing job, like Dark Knight, for example, that doesn't mean that everything after or before is going to live up to that. That was 2 of 3, right? And that was the strongest example, and the others were not as good.
Man, it's really hard to do a good movie trilogy. I'm like, man, like, that concept on its face is just, wow, it's really hard. I can think of
hit me. Let's go.
Good movie trilogies.
Let's go. Solid trilogy, top to bottom. No fucking qualifiers.
Original Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Original Star Wars, yeah, okay.
Those two are like okay, those are slam dunks. I wouldn't include Alien.
I would not include The Matrix.
I would not include Back to the Future. Back to the Future's close, but that third one's kind of.
But now we're getting how far back? We're going fucking 50 years in the past now. Like
yeah, no,
like,
dude, I had to go back to
crazy.
the 80s to get like a close one.
Oh man,
Terminator didn't make it. Spider-Man didn't make it. Indiana Jones is close, but that second one's kind of weird. I'm not a fan of Temple of Doom.
Far From Home, No Way Home. Those are good. I heard, yeah, I haven't seen John Wick 3, but people like John Wick. I heard those are consistently pretty good. Toy Story, the Toy Story movies have been pretty good. Yeah, okay. Guardians, sure.
Super Unhappy Man says the Fistful of Dollars trilogy. I would like to disqualify Fistful of Dollars from being a trilogy because one of those is just an unauthorized remake of a Japanese film. Like,
getting your Kurosawa's going. Yeah.
Like, that is not even its own movie.
But the point, I think, is made in that it's quite difficult to land a solid trilogy.
Very hard.
Yes.
Like, games have that problem too.
100%.
The first trilogy of games I can think of that is like a slam dunk top to bottom is Metal Gear Solid. And the second one is Okami, but that's cheating.
Obviously the Vengeance trilogy, obviously. You know, Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance, Old Boy. All this to say that, like, these are not unrelated problems is what I was getting at. And restraint is probably the only way. The only way to salvage anything you have, because I don't believe that people could not be won over with a really good MCU movie. I think there's enough residue, and there's enough that people still give a fuck about, that you can do it, but you can't fucking do it at the pace you've been going and continue to think people will give a fuck, because the worst thing that could happen is not this coming out and bombing. It would be it coming out and being pretty good, but people are so exhausted that they don't give a shit.
So I think my example of Falcon and Winter Soldier sums up like the issue with the formula, right? So the first phase of the MCU up until Avengers, right? I thought that each of those films, even the ones that were like mid, were like solid 7s, right? So I was willing to watch, I'm willing to blow like a couple hours on watching Thor. That was fine, right?
Took a minute to pick up, but yeah.
Because I liked First Avenger and Winter Soldier enough. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But once I got to Falcon and the fucking Winter Soldier, and I'm sitting there going, wow, what a waste of fucking time. And it's stricter on TV shows, because I watched that fucking thing for like
longer,
9 hours.
Yeah, it's a much longer commitment.
I was like, wow, what a waste of fucking time. The spell of I was up to date with everything is broken.
Also, yeah, there also was the Falcon movie too, so
right.
You know.
So like it's very similar to like certain types of gacha behavior and like MMO behavior and battle pass behavior, which is like, as soon as the spell is broken of I have everything, or I've seen everything, or I didn't miss out. Mm-hmm. Well, now you have to do something really big to win me back. And I've just been waiting. And I think the reason why they're pushing Doom and Tony Downey Stark Jr. Hard for Doom is that functions for a lot. And so we got to bring everybody back.
Yeah.
Well, they loved Robert Tony Down.
Yep.
What I can't.
RDJ, it's fine. RDJ, it's okay.
Towny Doney. They got to bring back Towny Doney, okay?
Pat Sundown Jr.
Yeah.
The other part of this, then the last thing I was going to say here is that, like, there's the fact that
Sorry. just saw somebody say Tony Starkey Jr.
Rudy Tooty Jr. The really shitty part of this too as well that we're not even talking about is that once the MCU becomes the all-encompassing Hollywood beast and that it replaces everything, you scale up and Marvel is now a film company and you have hired and you have this many jobs, this many roles to fill out, this many productions to handle. You scale up, and you can never scale back down because we have to continue operating at the size of Endgame forever now and only talk about going up.
Well,
from
the
there,
line's up here.
right?
We got to just keep that line going.
So
like, no, you can't.
exactly. And so now you have an obligation to maintain this Endgame trajectory. And that's fucking impossible because, like I said, restraint, nope, not gonna do it. Okay, well, a million fucking, disasters in the meantime. But you have to keep up this pace of production. And the back end of that, where you kind of get that, it always sucks when you have an excuse that's also like, well, what we committed to this, they became that company, this is what we're doing from now on, and now how many jobs are tied to this, we have to continue this way, is like, well, it shouldn't have been that, right? That was a stupid decision to begin with.
I think the level of desperation on display for your media franchise is directly commensurate with how strongly you feel the following sentence while watching one of the trailers, which is, oh, wow, he looks so old. So when you see Patrick Stewart in the wheelchair and you're like, Jesus Christ.
And then Ian McKellen right next to him.
And you're like, fuck, they're just they're like, oh man, fucking, it had to be these guys, even though they're like 90 years old.
They're corpsing out. They're corpsing out in the chairs. It's quite
like
rough.
Bro, Patrick Stewart was an older guy in '89 when TNG came out.
All the marketing with Deadpool and Wolverine was like, I'm forcing him to do it one more time. And yeah, I mean, of course it's a nice paycheck, but truly, it does really feel like Hugh is like, I need this chapter of my life behind me for my own sanity. I have to tell you,
I hope this is a real memory and not my own brain tricking me with a dream or something like that. But like, I remember prior to Deadpool, Hugh Jackman saying, I will never do another Wolverine thing.
Said he's done. Said he was done.
After Logan, right?
Yep.
And then Ryan Reynolds bugged him. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll do this one. This one looks fun. And then after the movie, he was like, yeah, I'll do it again.
Did he?
Yeah, I believe he did.
I didn't. If so, I missed that.
And I just like, what a fucking.
Damn. Well. Anyways. Yeah.
So you're not a big Star Trek guy, right? But you know Worf, right? Mm-hmm. So Michael Dorn is on TNG, and he's also a main character in Deep Space Nine, right? He comes in on the 3rd or 4th season to Deep Space Nine and becomes a main character. So Worf actually has like more episodes of Star Trek than Michael Dorn has, I think, like the most episodes of any character in Star Trek, right? Because he's across 2 series. And he was at a convention a couple of years ago, and he was describing how he was sitting at home and he got a call from his agent, and his agent was like, they want to talk to you about coming back to Deep Space Nine for Worf. And he's like, I don't want to fucking do it, because Dorn and Spiner had to do like 6 hours of makeup before every day of shooting.
Yeah, fuck that. Right,
to get the prosthetic and the main. So those guys became good friends because they were in the chair next to each other for the entire, from 6 a.m. to like fucking noon before shooting started. He's like, I don't want to. It's like, fine. And he agreed to take the meeting. And they take the meeting, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, here's what we're offering to pay you. And they slid the little paper across to Michael Dorn, and he looked at it, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And he slid it back. And then the motherfucker across the table from him took out a pen and just added a 0
an entire 0,
and gave it back to him and went, yeah, when we start.
God damn, dude. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
But here's the thing: is
that's the answer. That's the answer.
But
they're paying Robert Downey a motherfucking $1 billion to be in this movie.
The
you know how high expectations have to be for box office?
Desperation zeros go crazy, bro.
You're spending nation level GDPs on singular actors.
The whole thing rides on this. Again, glass broken, right? Glass broken. All the factors coming together. Yeah. Well, we'll see what the fuck happens.
I can't imagine being like some fucking starving child in some like poor country, finding out that the American like toy industry movie man who's the robot is making enough money to fucking feed every generation of your family to the end of time.
It's been this way forever, bro. It's been this way forever. It's just it's been this bad. Nothing new.
While they wear like a cast down thrift store sweatshop Iron Man t-shirt.
Oh yeah, here's your Hulk fists and your fucking Doomsday movie special bucket, popcorn bucket. You know. Okay, hold on. I've been holding it in, but I really gotta pee. All right.
I gotta pee too again. Fuck it. You know, I could, but I want to.
Okay. Well,
I want to.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's good for you.